Trojan family, Trojan gang. What it do, y'all? What it do, y'all? Back with another one. And I've been checking the USC threads. I've been checking the vibes of the USC family. And I noticed what y'all been talking about. Y'all been talking about the Killian O'Connor, Ray Reed situation. And I know that got some Trojan fans panicking, asking what's going on and whatnot. But pump y'all brakes a little bit. Y'all don't need to be worried. I think I know what's going on in this situation, right? Now, we all love Killian O'Connor. This ain't about Killian O'Connor. We love him. He been down. He been A1 since day one with this program. That's getting better and better every year. Keeping his head down, developing as a player, and waiting and biding his opportunity. This may be his opportunity in time to show what he could do, right? And then you got Ray Reed, the decorated center out of Syracuse, coming into his senior season. If you watch his film, I'm pretty sure you impressed. They call him the general. He's a good player, already had an NFL type grade. So some Trojan fans is surprised and wondering what's going on with this situation. It's just a bust. Is Ray Reed not who we think he is? I doubt that. You go watch his film, watch his career. The kid could play. The kid a baller, right? What I think is really going on in this situation is sky's the limit for Ray Reed. He got unlimited potential at that center position. So I feel like USC is trying to push him to be his best, put that fire up under his belt to get the best up out of him. Now, you got to understand his situation. When USC hopped in the portal, they desperately needed a center. And we definitely signed him in the transfer portal, looking at him as a center. I remember hearing USC saying they ain't going in the transfer portal on the O-line for development guys and bench and rotation guys. They went into the portal on the O-line looking for starters. So I understand the worry and concerns and frustration. But you got to understand, as a football player, he came in the spring. He been here ever since. You coming in knowing that you expected to start. This is why you got the deal. You got to come here. This is why you here to start. Then you got an unexperienced guy behind you, and you coming into your senior season. The guy behind you ain't had that many starts. He probably didn't feel that press. So when you don't feel pressure from the competition behind you, because how you looking at things, it may subconsciously take away that fire that you have in you to play out there with that dog mentality with a chip on your shoulder and to play like you got everything to prove out there. So Ray Reed, on a scale 1 to 10, he got the potential to be a 9.5, 10 type player at the center position. So if he out there playing at an 8.5 level, the coaches might want to tweak and do some little things to get the best out of him. If I feel like you an A+ student, but you getting B+, then I might challenge you a little more. Y'all got to remember, the best players with the best coaches, the best players always get treated the toughest. The best player, the coaches is always on them because they potential, and we know how great you could be. If you're not that talented, when you out there not playing that great, the coaches pretty much gonna accept that. But when you are talented and they feel like you ain't doing your best, now they finna try to put a spark up under you and light that fire that they got up in you. So I feel like just subconsciously, Ray Reed was probably out there, and it's a lot of practices from spring to fall camp, probably just going through the motions, not really feeling pressed. See, when you feel that competition behind you, and if you slack off at any practice, this guy can move with past you on a depth chart. You're gonna be out there playing with your chip on your shoulder, and you're gonna have a little extra little oomph and fire to your game because you fighting for a position on the team. I feel like Ray Reed came in a situation with the starting center position is his to lose. So when you come in that situation, just subconsciously, not even thinking it mentally, I ain't saying the general was sitting there in this room like, I'm finna dog it at practice today because I know this starting position is mine. It is a different when you got the mind frame is, man, I gotta bring it every practice because I might not even be starting. I gotta bring it every practice because this dude might take my reps. So it's gonna be a different mindset for a dude that's fighting for reps and fighting for a position than a dude that already got the position and it's his to lose, right? So I feel like Ray Reed I know he doing this thing in practice, but they probably feel like he can do better. And they probably looking at Killian O'Connor, and he probably living up to every drop of the potential and talent he got. So when you got a player doing that, you got to reward them for having that dog mentality. See, it's the mindset of the team why you got to do things like this. You need every player on board to be getting every drop of talent and potential and skill they got, right? Because that gonna make the difference between them one-score games and them close games. When you playing at this level and you have this fire up in you, when you bring it in every play, that can make a difference in the game, especially on the offensive line. You could take one play off and get the quarterback hurt. You could not have a good hike and turn the ball over in shotgun throw. You know what I'm saying? One crucial play could be the difference in the game. So you want every player bred and trained through practices, through camps, and how you brought them up to bring it every single play. Every play is a reset. It don't matter if you won the play previous before. That don't matter. You got to win the next one. So we need players that's locked in like that. And if we want our players to have that mind state to be locked in every play and to execute every play because they've been tested and fired through camp and through practice, you got to reward the players that's bringing in every play. You got to reward the players that's playing up to their potential every play. So Killian O'Connor could be an example of you got to practice what you preach. That kid probably going out there busting his ass every play and giving 100% complete effort, playing with his hair on fire. So a player like that, you got to reward, because the other players that's in the 2 deep, in the 3 deep, they watching and they seeing. And then they see a player like Killian O'Connor start the season off as starter and get reward and get reps because how he approaching the game and his mindset, then that gonna trickle down to the rest of the team, and it gonna trickle to the starters, that you could get some of your reps taken away and we feel like you ain't living up to your full potential and bringing in every play. Right? So that gonna keep everybody on their game sharp mentally, knowing that even if you more talented than a player, he might get your reps if you ain't got the right mind state, the right consistency, and the right hunger. Now, I'm not saying this is the case with Ray Reed. I'm just saying this is my experiences as a player. And when you playing on a team and you feel like you got the starting spot on lock, you may not play with that same sense of urgency. It's hard to imitate sense of urgency if it ain't really there, right? So it's like it's hard to have fear if there's no fear really there in your eyesight. So it's a difference when you running, playing around, than when you running for your life, a dog, a polar bear chasing you, right? However fast you can run, if a lion or a polar bear ever chase you, I guarantee you that gonna be the fastest you ever ran, whether you get caught or not. You hear me? So it's something called adrenaline, right? And it's hard to conjure up the adrenaline and that chip on your shoulder and that fire when it's a position for yours to lose. And that, I don't care what y'all say, he came into USC and the center position was here for his to lose, right? But ain't nothing promised even when we get you in that situation. So these coaches got to practice what they preach, because there's 100 other players on the team. And if other players could play just because they talent and not they work ethic, not because they dog mentality, not because they bring it in every day and playing up to their full potential, then the other players ain't gonna do it. We gotta have a mind state that every man on the roster gonna give his all every play, and when they's called on, he gonna deliver, because they didn't show that through camping and practice. You gotta have that chip on your shoulder. You gotta play with that fire. You gotta have that dog mentality and bring it every play, because this is a game of inches and talent don't win alone. See, we gonna play other kids that's just as talented as our kids, and the difference is gonna separate them is their mentality, how they been trained, how they been brought up, their consistency, their execution. And I'm telling you, that chip on your shoulder and that mentality means everything. So slow down, Trojan fans. Let the coaches cook. Let them do what they got to do. And I feel like before this season over, Ray Reed is going to be starting for USC. I feel like this is the Bear Alexander situation over again, but you got a different player and a different mindset in Ray Reed. See, USC tried this with Bear Alexander last year because they feel like he wasn't giving his all and he wasn't living up to his potential. So he got his reps and snaps took away, because you can't just have talent on this USC team. You got to bring it every day. You got to have that dog mentality, and you got to embody the player that USC wants to represent this program. You got to have that championship state of mind. And the only way you're going to have that championship state of mind is bringing in every play, playing with that chip on your shoulder, looking at yourself as underdogs, and having something to prove every damn play, man. So it's Carter Sports. I'm here, put y'all back in y'all place. Man, it's cool. Everything gonna work out. We gonna be good. And hey, this gonna give us depth. DeAndre Reed, he gonna get that starting position back. I'll bet my money on that. But this prepare our team for injuries or anything. Killian get this experience. We might need to call on them again, right? So this is building up the team, and this ain't nothing to worry about. I promise you, everything gonna be cool. But until then, it's Trojan family, it's Trojan gang, it's Carter Sports, and I'm out this thing.